amphitheater and our inside look. My name is Casey. I am one of the trainers here in the area. I'm actually going to come out here next to all of you, tell you a little bit about how we work and train with these amazing animals every day. If you have any questions while I come out this direction, feel free to raise your hand, let me know. I'll do my best to answer questions, but I'm also going to kind of talk you through a little bit about what we're doing with our dolphins behind us. Currently, there are no dolphins in the pool. It's not very exciting. But they will be joining us very shortly. We're actually home here at Dolphin Amphitheater to 12 bottlenose dolphins. They're Atlantic, Pacific, and a common dolphin, and they're all going to be coming out here to join us in our front pool, and we're going to work something called group contingency. We want them to be able to work together as a group. But this is one of several different training sessions that we do with our dolphins throughout our day. We actually have an acronym to help us describe the types of sessions we do. The acronym is HELPERS, and it stands for Husbandry, or health-based behaviors, exercise, learning behaviors, playtime, very important, relationship, and shows or interactions. So those are the different types of training sessions we do with our dolphins throughout their day. And every day is going to be a little bit different, so there's never a structure of they must have 5 different exercise or 3 relay sessions. It's always different. We want their day to be variable. So they're coming out here right now for a learning session. We want them to learn to work together. These dolphins have all lived together their entire lives, so they know how to work together, but we want them to actually be able to do things like line up in a row all together and do a behavior at the same time. It's a little bit tricky for them. We want them to be able to do that, so we practice it. And that's kind of what this training session is going to be about, practicing all 12 of our dolphins working together. Now, as you see them out here on stage, they're all got a trainer with them in a group. This is kind of like school, you guys. We have assigned seats for our dolphins, so they pick up in groups of 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, with a trainer at each group. And that way we can break down and focus on very specific dolphins, and we get to know each one of those dolphins and their individual needs. For example, one of our youngsters over here is Lanikai. She is 4 years old. She's very adorable, but she also has a really hard time focusing every now and then. So we need to make sure that LJ is paying attention to her, where some of our more adult animals have a really easy time sitting and waiting. Youngsters sometimes have a hard time with that. So LJ knows to focus on little Lanikai as they practice all these behaviors and focus really close on her. So that's all 12 of our dolphins doing a very simple behavior together. Yay for them. Yes, thank you. We're gonna build from there. We're gonna ask them to come across the pool and try something together. So we should see all 12 of our dolphins pop up and give you all a big wave. Now, can you see the one in the middle who is waving his tail? That's our youngster, you guys. That's Bodie. He is 3 years old. He is not perfect. He's still learning. That's okay. But this is a group contingent behavior. So because Bodie made a mistake, they all made a mistake. We want them to work together. So that's what we're looking for on this. And if you guys want to listen for a whistle, that whistle is going to tell them, yes, you did that correct. So we're going to try again. And I don't know if you guys can hear it, but that whistle says, yes, you all did it. Come on back for some type of reward. Jen, did you have something?
I was just telling you that we're repeating the behavior. You kind of talked about if an animal does something incorrectly. What I wanted to point out is how we respond to animals that do something incorrectly. We actually don't punish or put our animals in any sort of timeout. We simply give them a 3-second pause, called a least reinforcing scenario. And if we break those words down, least reinforcing. So we basically just stand there for about 3 seconds, and then we simply move on. Now in that opportunity, we decided to send the behavior again for Bodie's sake and see if he could figure it out. But in other opportunities, we actually move on to some other behaviors. Right now, they're all gonna vocalize together. So all these vocalizations actually are emitting from their blowhole. Even though their mouths might be open, they don't have any vocal cords. So all these noises are actually blown air through their blowhole, and they squeeze their their blowhole to expend the air. Now, if you guys have your cameras ready, we're gonna send a group aerial. We call this a breach. And it's gonna be in the center of the pool, so they're all gonna fly about 15 feet in the air. Very nice. And even on a group behavior like that, we want them to exit the water at the same time, enter the same way. We also are paying attention to if they're falling back or staying straight. And actually, this group over here with Todd has had a very hard time going to their position. We wanted it to be fanned out for our audience. And for safety, that group has actually been coming into the center a little bit, so that was a great opportunity. They went where they were supposed to, and they all got like Casey was talking about, that bridge, and then reinforced.
All right, you guys, so we're gonna be asking a few of our dolphins to head up into the back pool. As they do that, do you have any questions that have come up so far? Big hand, over here, yeah. So we have a couple of our youngsters, and I honestly didn't see which one it was out of the corner of my eye. I did notice it, but we also have a few of them like Bodie, who hasn't been practicing in a group. He is our youngster, our 3-year-old. We don't send him on the group ones because he feels like he's been squeezing out and falling on his back. So we're focusing on him individually, learning that behavior, so he doesn't go on the group high energy behaviors just yet until he's really solid at doing it by himself. So I'm guessing it was Bodie. It's a great question. How do they know that we're asking them to do these behaviors? We've taught them one form of sign language. So we use our hands to communicate with the dolphins, and we practice behavior after behavior, sending them this exact signal and showing them the shape of the behavior with a target pole, which is nothing but a long pole with a bead on the end so we can shape the behavior. So we show them a signal, show them the shape, and eventually they pair the two together, so it's all through sign language. It's a great question. Our oldest dolphin here is Sandy. She is 38 years old. She's actually been coming out to visit me out here at the glass in just a moment. She was born right here at SeaWorld. She's a mother of 6. Yes. We're not going to have our pilot ones come out for the inside look, but if you guys want to stick around for the 11:45 show, you'll see them then. Dolphins can swim up to 22 miles per hour as a sprint speed. That is not maintainable, so it's between 8 and 10 miles per hour, but up to 22. So the different types of dolphins we have here, we've got Pacific, Atlantic, and a common dolphin. The biggest difference is, this is Sandy out here, you guys, our oldest dolphin I just mentioned. She is a super wonderful dolphin. She's gonna hang out with me. Thank you so much. So Sandy is an Atlantic bottlenose dolphin. She's got a light gray coloration to her, and she's gonna be between 4 and 550 pounds. Pacific bottlenose dolphins are a little darker in color, and their average weight is between 5 and 700 pounds. Our common dolphin is much smaller. She is full grown at 300 pounds and has beautiful stripes down her side. So it's coloration and size that make up the differences. All right, you guys, so while I have Sandy out here with me, I'm gonna focus on a little bit of husbandry or health-based behaviors. It's another type of training session that we do with them. And those, you guys, are all the things that you would do at a doctor's office. We do with our veterinarians here with our dolphins. So I have Sandy lined up here at the glass, and most of you can see her. I'll come over this direction in just a moment. This is actually how we would do an ultrasound with our dolphins. Just like you would think of at a doctor's office, you guys, we come out here with a wand and we'd be able to see her heart, lungs, kidneys, liver, uterus, all of those things. So during her 6 pregnancies, we were able to keep track of her fetus growing all throughout that pregnancy. So ultrasounds are a wonderful example of husbandry. Another example, I'm going to bring Sandy over this direction, is a blood collection. Very important, we can make sure our dolphins are staying healthy here by monitoring blood samples throughout their lifetime. We actually do a routine health exam every year with our dolphins, just like you would do at a doctor's office. And we take blood samples from their tail flukes. It's the easiest place to find a shallow vein. And you can see Sandy is sitting here very calmly. I'm not actually even holding on to her at all. She's just sitting in the palms of my hands. Our veterinarians could come over and draw blood from her. We practice this every week with our dolphins without actually giving them a needle poke to draw the blood. We just practice the behavior and reward it very strongly so that when our veterinarians do come out to get bloods, she knows that it's all going to be positive for her. Right, sweetheart? Yes, it is. Good girl, Sandy Sue. I just sent her back over to you guys. Jen, what are we up to?
So I just found out we have my friend Shannon here, and Jackie's going to come out there, and they have another very special animal to introduce you guys to, an animal you probably didn't realize that we have at SeaWorld, but actually one of my very favorites of all time. Here's Shannon. All right, guys. Thank you, Jen. Now, I have the fortunate opportunity to be part of what's called our Animal Ambassador team. If you've noticed here at Dolphin Amphitheater, we not only have Atlantic bottlenose dolphins and the short fin Pacific pilot whale, but we also have some animals that basically line the outskirts of the back of our amphitheater. And one of these special animals is right up close next to you guys, walking right in front of you. Everyone kind of take a look down at the glass. You'll see Jackie, along with our animal ambassador, Peanut. Now, Peanut is a North American beaver. Raise your hand if you've ever seen or met Peanut before. There's a few people out there. All right, she's pretty famous for our park. She, again, is a rescued animal. She was found outside of Vancouver, Canada when she was about this big. Everybody look at where my hands are. She was a baby. So some hikers found her. She was by herself. And they theorized that her entire family was killed by a bear attack, and she was the lone survivor. These hikers did the right thing. They turned her into the Canadian Rescue Wildlife Facility called Northern Lights, and that facility was able to make sure she was healthy enough to then find a home here at SeaWorld San Diego. She's been with us for the last 6 years, and she is a popular animal ambassador for our park because she helps represent some of our rescue programs. And she is a semi-aquatic animal, so we are able to talk about a lot of our messaging when it comes to our rescue, rehabilitation, and return program for a lot of our marine mammals as it relates to Peanut. And then also getting kids up close and personal to an animal that they wouldn't normally see. So Peanut has been an incredible animal ambassador for us. And you can see she's used to being around people. Now that's a testament to how much time we've spent with her over the years. When she was just a few months old, one trainer was assigned to be with her for several hours a day. You guys can definitely get some up-close pictures of her. We just ask that you don't reach out and try to touch her at this moment because Jackie is asking her to kind of stick with her, stay with her. And we just need you guys to give her a little bit of space so she can continue to walk along the glass. It's awesome that you guys are excited about seeing her and taking pictures of her. But she will be continuing along the glass here. And you can see that she goes in and out of her travel carrier quite well. It's an extremely reinforcing place for her to go. And also you can see that she's following Jackie because she knows Jackie. Now believe it or not, Jackie is a dolphin trainer here at Dolphin Amphitheater. We've been able to what we call cross-train our dolphin trainers to work alongside our animal ambassador team. Now the way that we train our dolphins is the exact way we train our animal ambassadors. It's all through positive reinforcement. So if you're watching Jackie, you can see she'll reach out, offer her some of her food, but also another way that we can reinforce Peanut is just by giving her a scratch, a little rub down, what we call tactile reinforcement. You'll see that with the dolphins as well. So I'm gonna jump down here and make sure Peanut has a place to go on the other side. Perfect, Todd's bringing her travel carrier out and around. You guys watch how she walks. She's not quite as agile on land as she might be in the water. If anyone got a good look at her back feet, she has a lot of webbing between her toes. That indicates she does spend a fair amount of time in the water. Her exhibit is just right on the back side here. She has a very big pool, about 3.5 feet deep, and that allows her to swim and dive, which is exactly what a beaver in the wild would do. Now I'm just going to put it out for a few questions about Peanut. I'm going to pass it back to Casey so she can kind of wrap up the dolphin part. And then I'm going to be on this side, your right side, with another one of our animal ambassador
members, along with some information cards about the Animal Ambassador team if the kids want to come collect a few cards. So any questions about Peanut? Raise your hand, any questions? Yes, what's your question about Peanut? Why does she have webbing between her toes? That's a great question. She's using the webbing between her toes on her back feet to propel herself through the water. Kind of like a duck. Great question. Okay, one more question. How fast can Peanut or a beaver swim in the water? You know, I don't know the exact speed. I know that they're very good at diving. One great fact about a beaver is the fact that they can hold their breath for up to 15 minutes at a time. So they are designed for a lifestyle in the water. All right, Casey, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it back to you. You can wrap up the dolphin stuff and I'll be right on this side, guys.
Thank you so much, Shannon and Peanut. All right, you guys, so thank you so much for joining us for our inside look here at Dolphin Amphitheater, not only for our dolphins, but our bonus Animal Ambassador team. We do have an 11:45 show. You are welcome to stay here in the stadium. It will stay open, but just so you guys know, it is plenty warm. If you wanted to leave and come back, that is also an option. If you're looking for the stamps on your passports, those are going to be at the back of the stadium, and they'll be available to stamp your passports there if you like. For those of you sticking around, I do need to make sure your hands and fingers stay off the glass here. And this is a 24-hour splash area. You may get wet if you stay here. Once again, you guys, thank you so much for joining us and enjoy your day at SeaWorld.